freezing at our desks trying to type. You can probably tell I've got a cold right now, which I blame all on the AC. And so it's just so actually quite nice to see this research. It's just such a relief to know that there's actually proof that this is happening, that women, do feel the cold more than men, and that the AC in offices is normally regulated more for a male's temperature than a woman's.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. If you're going to enjoy it, then leave a like and maybe even subscribe. Now we start things off today with a pretty funny clip of a SJW getting owned on her very own show. She was claiming that weed is the cause of many problems and that she's against the legalization of it around the country, but the people she was debating with weren't having any of it and got her really good.
Up with that, I'm talking about recreational marijuana.
Because, Nancy, I'm not going to let the isolated stories you drag off the internet impact and affect the millions of Americans who use marijuana responsibly and do not impair or impact society negatively.
As you can see, she was completely silenced and she just realized that she's completely lost the argument. Someone finally told the SJW straight that she was making terrible arguments and just making an issue out of something that isn't an issue at all. Next up, this SJW was invited to a talk show to have a debate. She was being quizzed by the show's presenter on certain things, and well, clearly she didn't know the answer to his questions. The SJW then got really triggered for getting these questions and she started trying to change the subject.
Questions on this.
Well, it was just we had that one. You were Shadow Defence Secretary on DEFCON.
Do you know what really upsets me about your attitude to me is that you do this with me. I don't remember you doing it with anybody else. Have you done it to David Davis? Have you asked these questions? Did Sky journalists have a go at Boris Johnson on this basis? How about Liam Fox?
Now we have another SJW who was on another talk show and speaking to someone about whether women should work or not. He said that as a man, he would opt for his wife to not work and rather take care of their children, but added that women can work if they want. There's no issue, but the SJW was angry about what he said.
In America, because they choose to. They would rather go to their daughter's piano recital than stay all night at work working on a proposal.
What?
So they end up earning less. They're less ambitious, and I think this is sort of God's way. This is nature's way of saying women should be at home with the kids. They're happier there.
The SJW was getting angry for no reason. He literally said that women can work, it wouldn't bother him, but for some reason the SJW was finding a reason to be angry at him and be baffled by his statement. It was weird because he was literally agreeing with the SJW, but she was still really angry for some odd reason. This next clip is pretty hilarious. On the show Good Morning Britain, someone was debating that there were a lot of foreigners in London and that the city had become less British because of that. But this SJW presenter disagreed with him, sort of. Hear what he had to say.
People are reading into that he meant it's not white enough.
All right, let me first of all start by saying that with age should come wisdom, but clearly with John Cleese, it passed him by. The bottom line is this. Referring to UK cities or London as non-English is the key point here. Britishness is not determined by the...
This time we have an SJW who will absolutely shock you. This SJW came on the news to speak about how the AC in the workplace is sexist. She complains that the temperature is always set for men and says that women feel the cold more than men. Seriously, this woman is complaining about the AC.
Freezing at our desks trying to type. You can probably tell I've got a cold right now, which I blame all on the AC. And so it's just so actually quite nice to see this research. It's just such a relief to know that there's actually proof that this is happening, that women, do feel the cold more than men, and that the AC in offices is normally regulated more for a male's temperature than a woman's.
We end things off today with some more SJWs who were complaining about some of the names they were being called by men. They complained that the names are demeaning and inappropriate, and they made a really big deal about it. But the names they're complaining about are far from mean in any way.
But nothing, not even sir, gets under my skin quite like my dear. Deliberate misgendering can be frustrating, but it's rarely from malice, at least not from people who matter. It's usually just a misunderstanding or some confusion. My dear, however, well, that's condescending and demeaning. It's dripping with passive aggression.
These are definitely the most ridiculous complaints that you'll ever hear. My dear is really nice and really sincere, but this SJW seems to have a problem with that. Very weird, right? SJWs are literally taking anything they can find these days and turn it into a problem. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and much more. Hit the bell icon too so you don't miss out on any future videos. We'll see you guys in the next one, but until then, take care.